Hello everybody, welcome to part 3 of Simon's Quest. In today's episode, we're gonna go to the left of that first town we were in, because, as we all know, Metroid pioneered going left in video games. Yep, there's backtracking in this game. I would say that this game is not really egregious like in most other games, because the play area is really limited and small. It's whether you have the right equipment to actually get around or not. Games from this era, particularly RPGs, have this really bad habit of putting in these obnoxious as hell mazes and really wide open play areas where you just get assaulted by the enemy every other second. Like Phantasy Star 2, for example. You can't even go 2 steps in a maze without getting attacked by an enemy. I love that game, but I also hate that game. But it is nice to see that Simon's Quest is actually on the simpler side of things, even if it is still cryptic. And it's definitely a little bit on the easy side for a Castlevania game, I can tell you that much. Like, I'm just one-shotting these enemies, and I really shouldn't be doing that, but it's just the equipment I have. The chain whip is overpowered as fuck, but, you know, what are you gonna do? New enemy types. You got these lizardmen here who will shoot fireballs at you. You just equip Dracula's Rib in order to reflect the fireballs back at them. And the fire does not harm them, so you still gotta be preemptive and whip them. Anywho, you also got these marsh ghosts and these hyenas. I don't know what those are. And you got snakes. Snakes! Snake! It's Konami, I can get away with that reference, okay? Here's the ferryman. He'll take you to a good place if you don't have Dracula's heart equip. But if you do have Dracula's heart equip, he'll take you to the rest of the game. I don't get why he takes you to 2 different places if you have an item equipped, but I don't know, Castlevania 2 is freaking weird and it's confusing at points and just, what the hell is this game? I'm gonna skip that mansion for now because I need to go left and pick up an item. And here's a tricky diggy platform section. Oh man, remember, if Simon touches the water, he drowns. And you can't change your jump arc in midair, so if you're already in the air, you're going that direction until you land. Oh, at least the text box didn't open up during the platforming section. Oh man, why can't it just go from light to dark? You got new enemies here too. You got hawks, mummies, or ghosts. Or at least I think they're ghosts. The sprite detail's a little bit odd on that one. But I'm gonna assume that they're ghosts. They're the ghosts, but it looks more like a burning skull head rather than like a specter, which is oddly specific for an enemy design, but then again it's Castlevania, so it can do whatever the hell it wants. And you also got these flowers that shoot out more fireballs. Again, if you have Dracula's Rib, you can reflect the fireballs back at them. And how can I forget the series staple Medusa heads? They don't fly in a wavy pattern like they do in most other games, but they will make a beeline for you, and they're actually kind of more annoying in this game because they'll stay right on top of you. I'll give you a diamond. And now I just got a diamond, so we can actually progress further into the game. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that enemies respawn. It's almost at the rate of Mega Man 5. Yeah, they just come back when you progress the screen a little bit to the left or right. Now the trick for these platforms is you gotta jump off the blocks as they're going up. If you jump off of them at any other time, you'll gimp the jump and you'll not have as much momentum. Fuck. As I was saying, if you jump the block while it's going down, there's a good chance you'll miss the platform because you undersold the jump. For those 2 platforms close together, jump while the platform is going down, because if you don't and you jump while it's going up, you'll overshoot that close together platform. It's really random. Well, it's not random, but it's just strange. This is Brahm's Mansion, a tongue-in-cheek reference to Bram Stoker, who wrote the original Dracula novel. This mansion has a very special guest in it, and we're gonna have to fight that special guest very soon. Now, if there's one thing I can criticize Simon's Quest for, it's the lack of boss fights. There's only 3 in the game, and it's a longer game than Castlevania 1, and just about as long as Castlevania 3, so you would think there would be more boss fights, right? Nope. Castlevania 1 still has more boss fights than this game for some reason. And not only that, the bosses are brain dead in this game. I'll elaborate more on that when we get to them, but as for Brahm's Mansion, it's, more of the same. The merchant's gonna be on the right side of this area on a platform, so you're gonna have to take a whole bunch of these stairs up and then around in order to get to him. Be sure to jump too, because it's a long way up if you miss the jump. I know people are gonna thumbs down the video for me saying this, but hear me out. I think Simon's control in this game is the best in the Castlevania trilogy on NES, and here's the reason why. You had Castlevania 1, which, I'm gonna be fair on Castlevania 1 because it's the first game in the series and it did have good controls, but there are also times where the controls can be a bit stiff and you have to anticipate the attack windup too. And Castlevania 3, while that game do have good controls too, they did the dumbest thing with stairs. Instead of holding diagonally up on stairs, you have to hold straight up, and the characters will just awkwardly gravitate towards the stairs. That will get you killed in most cases because they'll just get animation locked, but we'll talk about that more when we get to Castlevania 3 within the next couple of weeks. Castlevania 2 improves on some of the attack windup, but not quite by much, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Simon moves a bit faster, but that's what it looks like. And he also doesn't have that stupid animation lock on stairs like he does in the 3rd game. Or I should say Trevor, because that's not Simon in that game technically. Game still features slowdown though, and this game in particular is the worst when it comes to the slowdown. It's bad. It is really bad. And we'll see in the next part that it's just fucking bad. High death. Bye death. You can seriously walk past the Grim Reaper in this game. I don't know why they didn't program a door to close behind you when you enter the boss room, but there you go. You can just walk past death and not even flinch. You possess Dracula's eyeball. But no, I am gonna fight death because he does drop a weapon. And you must be thinking, wow, if they programmed a way out, death must be impossible, right? Well, you'd be wrong. You now possess the golden knife, and that was the death boss fight. Even without the holy flame, the guy's a pushover. Now if you go back in there after you killed him, the dude just respawns. I mean, he is the Grim Reaper, he can just come back from the dead whenever the hell he pleases. But on a serious note, 2 of the 3 bosses in this game are skippable, and even if you don't skip them, they're piss easy, so why did they make the bosses so that you can actually walk past them? I'll never understand that. I'm gonna have to assume that this game was a bit rushed, mainly in the boss strategies and not so much the exploration aspect. I mean, this game was released a year after the first Castlevania game. And that was a time when video game sequels were doing their damnedest to be different from their predecessors. You got this game, which is a quote-unquote Metroidvania, even though it's not. You got Mario 2, which did some new things. You got Zelda 2, which also did some new things, and arguably did things better than this game did. And then you got Return of Samus on Game Boy, which is an elimination type of game where you have to destroy all the Metroids in order to complete the game. I don't know that type of game style. I never played Metroid 2 Return of Samus. But in most cases, if the series happens to be a trilogy, the third game will harken back to formulas put in place by the first game, making the second game a black sheep. Yeah, that's how 80s games work apparently. Now, whatever you do, always try and grab the big hearts. They'll give you 10 to 15 currency, and you'll need those for the later parts of the game. Items will get more and more expensive. And enemies might decide not to drop hearts because RNG dictates it, so whenever you do see a heart, grab it. Oh geez, getting out of this mansion is way more tedious than getting in it for some reason. There are spikes below. You're gonna have to watch out for these fake floors, which will— oh goddammit. As I was saying, you're gonna have to watch out for fake floors, and as I demonstrated, falling through one of those will put you into the spikes and will do tremendous amounts of damage. Alright, now that I'm done with this area, I can unequip Dracula's heart and go to the area the ferryman would have taken me to if I didn't equip that item. Sure, I'll take you to a good place. So it's just a matter of watching the text box and see if he says something different. Like, if he's taking you to a town, he'll say, he'll take you to a good place, ha ha ha. Or if he's taking you to Brahm's mansion with the heart equipped, he'll say, I'll show you the way. Yes, I know, he just made a Ugandan Knuckles joke before Ugandan Knuckles existed. Welcome to Alba. There will be a man who will exchange a red crystal for your blue crystal, and you'll need the red crystal to progress to the end of the game. The man will be easy to spot out because the rest of the NPCs here are women. Yeah, you can't really miss a man in a town full of ladies now, can you? But it's not a town full of ladies, it's a town full of zombies. It's fucking nighttime. Well, that was painless. Business as usual, let's try and find that guy and buy more stuff because there's some important stuff we need to buy here too. Like laurels, we're gonna have to pass through a massive swamp full of acid, so laurels are a must. The good thing about laurels is that they're cheap, and yes, 50 hearts is cheap compared to everything else in the game. There's a church in this town, so if you're barely hanging on to health, make sure you go there before you leave. Hit Deborah Cliff with your head to make a hole. What the hell does that mean? Clues to Dracula's riddle are in Boldly Mansion. But going back to that previous text box, why in the hell would you want me to hit my head on a cliff? I'm the only one that can stop Dracula. Are you trying to get me killed? Maybe she works for Dracula, I don't know. I'll see you at midnight on the riverbank. Oh my. That doesn't sound suspicious at all. And let's see what this guy has. Okay, it's garlic. No, I don't need that. Garlic's only good for making certain people appear in graveyards, and those said people will give you items to use. It's not really mandatory to use garlic for those items, it's just, you know, something to have, I guess. I'm still trying to look for the guy with the red crystal. I thought it would be up here, but apparently he's closer to the center of the town and right by some stairs, so you have to take the stairs up or jump from one of the platforms on the right in order to get to him. Oh, there he is, I found him. You could just take the stairs up to him. I like to exchange a blue crystal for a red one. Now Simon's got his hands on the red crystal, and as that lady from above mentioned, we have to go to Deborah Cliff, not to bump our heads or anything, but to use the red crystal in order to get through. And slimes, who are one of the most annoying enemies in the game because they jump around a lot. This area can be a little bit treacherous if you don't know what you're doing, but if you're equipped well enough, you should be able to manage. And there's that bad enemy spawn rate I was talking about earlier. I must have killed that same blob at least 2 or 3 times. Don't go down the stairs, just go to the left and you'll make it to the next town. The next town will be important because it has a whip upgrade. It's the Morning Star, and it's crucial if you want to get the final whip upgrade in the game. And it's really, really, really powerful. It can one-shot most enemies in the game. But other than the Morning Star, I don't think there's anything else of importance here. Well, except for laurels, but you can buy laurels pretty much anywhere. And this is the point where houses will have 2 empty rooms just to waste your time. I like how the walls that you broke just randomly regenerate out of nowhere when you exit the room. The Morning Star should be in one of these houses. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's closer to the center of the town. But I'm not quite sure, I haven't played this in a while. Let's see if I can talk to that old man for some advice, maybe he'll show me the way. And, oh, shit. Oh, fuck your horrible night.